Oh, hi. Happy Tuesday. How are you doing? It's a beautiful day. Here we are. Yet again, we did it. It's Tuesday. It's live stream day. It's the best day of the week, in my opinion. How are you doing? Happy September. Happy September. Happy Tuesday. We got a big show for you today, okay? Very excited about this one. Laura Loomer's about to get loomered, bitch. We're about to loomer the shit out of her. Yeah. But before we get to all that, I got some announcements. One, I'm just going to talk about this because I don't know what's been going on, okay? But I have, as you might know, that I've been talking about how I've been sick, right? And I thought I had COVID. I've literally have gone to the doctor. I've gotten every single thing tested that you can get tested to see if there's something wrong with me. And it very may well be that there is something going on with my apartment that is keeping me sick, which sounds insane. But I left the house for like 2 hours today because I need to get a haircut. By the way, I got a haircut. Here it is. There you go. I got a haircut. And I left for like 2 hours. And I've had this metal chemical smell that I thought was the smell of sickness. And so I've been staying in my house for 2 weeks. And then I left for 2 hours to get my haircut. And then I stayed out because I wanted to see if maybe it would make a difference. And the smell started to go away. So now I have to have someone here. I have to have someone come here and check for mold and do a chemical test. Has anyone experienced this before? This is nuts to me. It's mold. Old paint or mold. I've never experienced this before. And I was I've been fatigued. And I was what is wrong with me? And I thought for sure there was some virus. I got tested for every virus. And it all came back negative. I was praying for COVID. I just was please, someone tell me there's something wrong. Just tell me what it is. So now there's a mold person coming on Thursday. This is my life. Black mold sounds like mold. Crazy. It sounds like mold? That's crazy. But I looked it up and I was oh, mold. It's itchy and sneezy and stuff. Mold. I had the same problem. Badger says, I had the same problem several years ago and it turned out to be black mold. I can't open the windows. I'm on the 3rd floor in New York City and pigeons will fly in because there's no screen on the windows. This is hell. Okay, but it's mold. Okay, well there's a mold person. Mold is dangerous. Yeah, I feel not normal. Okay, that's not the point of the live stream, but I just wanted to update you because I have really been sick. I've been sick. And this to me was the first hint. I was oh, there's something going on. If it's black mold, you will get very sick. Your eyeballs are hurt when you left. All right. Well, anyways. All right. So that's that. But before we get into any of the stories that we want to go through today, I first got to do what we always do. Roll call. Where's everyone watching from? I'll start it off. I'm in New York City, apparently in an apartment filled with mold spores. Where are you watching from? DC, South Mississippi, Connecticut, Michigan, Colorado, South Georgia, Philly. Someone says, hi, Keith. I'm in Pueblo, Colorado. North Dakota, Minnesota, Florida. Hang in there, Keith. Hope you feel better. BC, Canada. Thank you so much, everyone. Get air filtration with UV. Yes, we're going to do that. We got Los Angeles, California, near the Burbank Airport, says John. Southern air. All right. So everyone, very happy to have you here on this beautiful Tuesday. We're going to do it live. And yeah, very excited. So here's what we have for today. We got three main stories. We have MAGA Republicans who are, we got the UK here. Shit. Carol Edwards from England. Are we related? And Lou Harvey, St. Buryan in the UK. Well, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I apologize. I apologize to all of our international friends for everything going on here. Not my fault, but I still feel slightly responsible as an American. So my apologies. I hope we make it better this November. Certainly, I hope we make it better in 2028. We will see. But I'm very grateful that you're here with us today. Now, as I said, we do have a big show for you today. We are gonna Laura Loomer. Here are the allegations we're gonna take you through. One. Now these are not. This is like Milo Yiannopoulos. I don't know how to say his last name. He's the one that alleged this, not me. Okay. Could this be why he got kicked out of the country forever? Maybe. We're going to bring you through the allegations. One in which he says that Laura Loomer is not Jewish, was not born Jewish. Another says that Laura Loomer allegedly told him that she did unthinkable things to Donald Trump. That's why he likes her. She tried suing for that. The lawsuit never went anywhere. And I think those are two. Those are the two. Yeah, those are the two. And we also have MAGA Republicans are calling for impeachment of Donald Trump. Before we get to the impeachment story, I want to poll y'all, because here's the thing, is that folks say that we shouldn't impeach Donald Trump. Can we pull this up? Jim Clyburn said this recently. We're going to pull this up. Jim Clyburn, who is, I don't know how old he is, 82, 83. He's been in Congress longer than I've been alive. He said recently that he's not sure impeachment should be a priority if Democrats take the House. Let's pull this up real fast. There's no audio? Hold on. Oh, okay. Sorry, 1 second.
Do you believe Democrats should impeach President Trump if they take back the House?
If the Democrats were to take back the House, and I feel confident that we will, our first order of business ought to be developing an accessible and affordable campaign effort that will yield what I would call making this country's greatness accessible and affordable for all of its citizens.
Do you rule out impeachment?
Want us to forget about the American people.
Do you rule out supporting impeachment?
I don't rule it out, but I don't rule it in. No, I don't. Okay. But I don't think that should be our priority if we get into office.
You believe
he's 86, by the way. All right, now we're going to poll you real fast. I'm of two minds about it. I actually don't know. I actually go back and forth about impeaching Donald Trump. We are likely to take the House. Now, if we impeach Donald Trump, is the Senate going to convict him? I don't think so. Impeachment, I suppose some will say that impeachment makes him stronger. It gives him something. It gives him like a foil to be against. But The question is for the audience, do you think Democrats, if they retake the House, should impeach Donald Trump? Do you? Let's pull that. I think Kelly is doing that right now. Okay. Let's just see what he thinks. Let's see what people think. We're going to keep it up for 2 minutes. Vote. Everyone vote. Voting is very important. Make your voice heard. Should we impeach Donald Trump if we become the majority in Congress? I'm seeing y'all in the chat. Fulcrum here says, yes. Yes. Let's see what else. Scott Patriot says, stupid question. Also, earlier says you've been poisoned. Thanks, Scott. Perhaps I have been poisoned. It's not mold. It's poison. Okay. What are the percentages, Kelly? I can't see it. It's not on my screen. Should Donald Trump be impeached? 92% yes. Okay. We actually asked this yesterday on Valhalla's VFT's live stream. His audience was 95% yes, and it's very conservative, independent audience. So we're a little bit behind. Okay. How is 9% saying no? I have no idea. That's unfortunate. But I guess I understand both sides, but I really just believe that it doesn't matter. One, you never know what's going to happen. The Senate could find that could just find a conscience. I don't know. Or I think the bigger point is, if you don't impeach him for all of the many things he's done wrong, then you're kind of like implicitly rubber stamping it, right? Like, I just think we have to say, like, this is not okay, even if it doesn't go through with a conviction, right? That's how I feel. Now, if they are to impeach, I don't know what the hell they're going to pick. They have so many options. But I think what's really interesting about this is that, again, like, what is with Democrats and not fighting? What's with that? I'd like fighters, please. We're electing some right now, but it's crazy to me that Tucker Carlson, of all people, is coming out and more forcefully than Democrats saying that Donald Trump needs to be impeached. Tucker Carlson. Now, I don't know if he's running for president. It could very well be that he is running. He did release this plan last month. He released a 10-point plan, a manifesto, where there's like third-party speculation that he would run. That basically the country should be fair, sovereign, productive, blah, 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 blah. This isn't something you do if you're not thinking about some sort of higher office. This is interesting to me. Is Tucker Carlson running for president? I would probably guess no, because listen, how much does he make a year? $30 million a year, maybe more, doing his podcast where he doesn't have to answer to anyone or anything, and he gets to always just be on the right side of things. I don't think he's going to run for president, but I would like to see him, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Joe Kent, one of them. I would like to see someone please do an independent run, because that would guarantee that Republicans would lose. Split that vote up. Marjorie Taylor Greene could have the final laugh if she decides to do a third-party run in an America First line. I would like to see that. Now, I think the bubbling of that is what they're doing here, is like laying down the groundwork. As you can see, they all got together last month. And I think they really are laying down the groundwork for something. What? I don't know. But there you got Thomas Massie, Joe Kent, Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's her husband. I don't know who that is. Tucker Carlson. Okay. To this, Donald Trump freaked out, said Tucker Carlson just met with lightweight former Congressman Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Losers all. Tucker's views have fallen through the floor and only get worse. It's not true. Nobody cares about him any longer. Not true. And that he has become totally irrelevant. Untrue. And happens to be surprisingly a very low IQ. And okay, blah, 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 right? Like he does this. He always does this. He does this thing where he just likes to throw up. But listen, Donald Trump is a very ignorant man, but he has like a lizard brain when he knows that he's under attack, when he knows that he's under threat. And this is his lizard brain realizing, there's something to this. And so he immediately pounces when he can like sense any sort of threat. So that brings us to this here, where Tucker Carlson a few days ago called on Donald Trump to be impeached and removed. Let's watch this.
I was opposed to impeachment, the 2 impeachment attempts against Trump, strongly opposed. I think the whole thing was absurd. I believe in stability. I think elected leaders should serve out their terms. I don't hate Trump personally. So with all of that said, the second any president actively considers first use of nuclear weapons, that person should be removed from office immediately, because that's got to be the red line. Destroying all of humanity with a nuclear strike? I mean, so why isn't there an attempt to remove him from office, like immediately? Anyone who would even tolerate that kind of talk from any of his subordinates or employees is by definition unfit. That's the total destruction of the world. Just again, any leader of any country who suggests first use of nuclear weapons has forfeited his right to lead. He has to be removed immediately. I think that's just a fair standard. Any normal person, I think, if we were to kind of cool the temperature a little bit and just ask objectively, is that fair? Yeah, of course that's fair. You can't risk the destruction of the world. You're not allowed. You didn't build the world. You're not allowed to do that.
So Tucker Carlson is alleging here that Donald Trump is threatening nukes. Do we have that, Kelly? I don't feel like we have that. I guess Donald Trump, I know that Donald Trump has been asked about this, where just in the Oval Office the other day, Donald Trump was asked about whether or not he's going to use nukes. And he said, this did not make me feel good. This did not make me feel good. This is what he does when he's lying, when asked if he's going to use nukes.
I do have a question for you about flock cameras, but first on Iran. Have you ruled out using a nuclear weapon against Iran?
Well, I would never say that, but the answer is yes. I rule out no use. There's no reason for it.
And has that
what a stupid question that is, actually.
Well,
here they are. They're totally defeated militarily. So now I defeat them, and now I should use a nuclear weapon on top of them? What a stupid question. Okay, thank you very much.
Listen, I've been following this guy longer than I care to admit. I can tell when he's lying. That is classic Donald Trump lie right there. Now, is he going to use a nuke? I don't know. But we do know that he has said previously, literally 3 hours ago, Donald Trump threatened to totally wipe out Iran as a country.
Who indicated that if the Iranians respond to these U.S. strikes against their country, the president said they'll be hit much harder. He went on to say today's strikes were a very big hit, and if it goes a third time, they're going to be totally wiped out as a country. Now, I asked the president what was hit tonight in Iran, specifically in the southwestern part of the country next to the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says a lot of radar. and added that they were trying to rebuild the radar systems, and the United States was watching. And then just before they completed this construction, that's when these strikes took place. The president says the USS George Washington, that new aircraft carrier that arrived in theater last week, is loaded to the gills with ammunition. And he indicated that they have enough to continue this fight against Iran, again, if the Iranians do decide to respond. As for any sort of possible agreement with the Iranians, President Trump says, I think an agreement with them isn't worth the paper it's written on. We gave them a lot of chances. But again, the latest information that we have, John, U.S. strikes are ongoing again.
Yeah. So we also have this too, where this is where it gets interesting, right? So like we have these veiled threats. We have his right flank saying that he has to get impeached. Iran's clearly winning this war, right? And then this is something that really we haven't focused on the channel, but Army Secretary Dan Driscoll had submitted his resignation to Donald Trump yesterday. And I think with all these different things kind of like bouncing around, I think you can kind of get a sense of what's happening behind the scenes. Let's just listen to this for a second.
Breaking news in our politics lead, a top civilian leader in the Department of Defense is out. Sources telling CNN Army Secretary Dan Driscoll has submitted his resignation to President Trump. The news first reported by the Wall Street Journal. Kristen Holmes and our colleague Kevin Liptak broke the story for CNN. Kristen's now live at the White House. Kristen, people might not recognize the name, but Dan Driscoll is a big deal for a lot of different reasons. Why is he resigning?
He had months of friction. We had been reporting that this could be a possibility for quite some time. And in fact, we actually had stories months ago about this underlying friction that hadn't quite spilled over yet. At that time, the friction was coming from the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, towards Dan Driscoll. But in the last several months, it appears as though that friction has been two-sided. This was something that was expected. I was told by one source there was no surprise here that he submitted his resignation, although I will tell you that I talked to other members of the administration who said that they were hoping that he would last a little bit longer, just as this continuation of this Iran war is playing out right now. We did get a statement just seconds ago from the White House. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, Secretary Driscoll has been highly effective in advancing President Trump's agenda to make America strong again at the Department of the Army by providing outstanding leadership during historic military operations, restoring an emphasis on readiness and lethality, assisting with negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, and more. The United States Army is more powerful than ever thanks to his work alongside the Commander-in-Chief and Secretary of War.
Right. So, first off, you tell me, but is it a good sign if you're in the middle of a 6-month war that there appears to be no end to, and the President of the United States, the Army Secretary, decides to quit? That to me seems like a red flag, right? We're not getting the full picture in the background. There's something going on. Now, what? I don't know, but we have these rumblings. Donald Trump wants to use nukes. We do know that they're just doing illegal, the stuff that we do know that's illegal, we have seen with our own eyes, where they're literally just shooting boats in the Pacific Ocean. They're just annihilating people. Okay? So there's obviously some discontent, not only with the war, but Donald Trump, I really do think, is starting to feel cornered. Now, I've said before, I'm going to say it again. I really think the smart people who are seeing the illegal shit happening right now are saying to themselves, we got to get out of here. This is not good. This is not good. Now, I'm not sure if this man was instructed to do anything illegal, but certainly the smart people know that it's like Donald Trump's only going to be in power for so long. Okay. We have Hunter Biden calling for Nuremberg trials. Let's pull that up. So there is, and I'm sure you're watching right now, and you're saying to yourself, whoever becomes the next president, we need to 100% go after every single criminal who has done something illegal, whether it be a war crime or whether it be insider trading. We have to go every single person. And I think we will. Because one thing we learned from the January 6th bullshit, the little insurrection, is we weren't fast enough and we weren't creative enough. And we didn't really think far enough ahead that, hey, what if we don't go after the big people until it's too late? So my hope is that Democratic leadership is going to look at all this and say, oh, the second whoever becomes president next is president, the next day investigations start. The next day we're starting to put people in handcuffs. Now, Donald Trump ran on lock them up. He didn't really lock up anyone, really. He ran on lock her up. Didn't happen. We actually need to run on lock him up. Lock him up. Now, Hunter Biden, who we're going to actually see more of later on in the show, was on friend of the channel, Valhalla VFT's show, and he actually called for Nuremberg-style trials. Here's that.
To have Nuremberg trials. We need to have truth and reconciliation. If Chuck Schumer or Hakeem Jeffries can think they're going to come in and take the tack that Merrick Garland did, then you know what? They best step aside today.
Nuremberg trials? The only thing Trump murdered was Kamala's campaign and the Ayatollah, who had it coming. The Bidens already tried to put Trump in prison, and Biden's Secret Service almost got him killed twice.
Biden's Secret Service? I mean, they're literally, the people who are with Trump have been with him forever. It's not Biden's Secret Service. Give me a fucking break. Anyways, so we're going to keep following that specific part of it, but I do think that we're going to stay close to this because I'm sure there's going to be more reporting on, we don't really know why that man quit. We don't know why he quit, but it's very interesting to me that Trump and his administration are starting to feel very cornered on all sides. Impeachment being called for on the right flank, the very far left saying we need to put all these people on trial. We have reporting now of members of Congress saying that Pete Hegseth should be impeached. I think that's very interesting. Maybe we don't go for Trump. Maybe we go for someone like Pete Hegseth. It's an interesting proposition. Now, DC Drano, who is actually pretty close to the Trump administration, was responding to this saying, here's why Army Secretary Jan Driscoll resigned. It says here, Driscoll brought up concerns with the administration surrounding Army transformation and readiness, and Hegseth blocking those efforts, specifically by firing the generals who were responsible, according to a source familiar with Driscoll's decision. And DC Drano says Dan Driscoll was close friends with Vindmans who helped orchestrate Trump's first impeachment. Make of that what you will. So I suppose what he's alleging here is that like this man got out and he's going to sing about all the many crimes that Pete Hegseth and Trump have committed, which, by the way, I would like that. I am pro that. Sing, baby, sing. All right. I think that's all we got on this. Yeah, someone else also questioning, like, he's finally out. The long rumored and widely expected resignation of Dan Driscoll is here. He's been a rare voice of conscience and clarity in the Hegseth Pentagon, so it's always been a matter of time, a huge loss for the Army and for the administration, but most of all for our soldiers. We should all hope that Driscoll will now speak openly about his concerns. It could change history, save countless lives, and make all Americans safer. Yeah, I mean, I hope he does it. We'll see. I hope he's not waiting for a book or anything like that. I really do hope he, one, stays safe, because it seems to me people who do not, people close to this administration quite often don't end up safe. And two, that he says everything he knows to someone close to him, or he has been saying, or at least taking notes. Taking notes is very important. Yeah. So we have, oh, what happened? Oh, got it. Okay. It's a good point. Corilla Lawn 666 says he will pardon all of them, and our hands will be tied unless the ICC can do something. Yeah, I mean, he literally. I mean, that's the thing is like Joe Biden left. Just before he left, he pardoned so many people. I don't think he needed to do it. I think it was an overreaction. And it also gave a permission structure for Donald Trump to do the exact same thing. So it could be a thing where like they do a blanket pardon for everyone involved in this stuff. And then what? Reading more of your comments here. I'm going to pull this up later. All right. And then, there's a lot. Okay. There are a lot of people with suggestions about my fatigue and the smell, which I very much appreciate. I don't think it can be, if you're just getting here, we have learned that I'm most likely not sick. There is some sort of chemical or mold situation in my apartment that's getting inspected on Thursday. I left the house for the first time in 2 weeks because I really thought I was sick. So I was just trying to stay home. And it turns out when I left, I actually felt better and the smell of sickness went away. So now I have to go inspect that. But that's just a quick update in case you're wondering what the hell these people are talking about. Okay. And then if we can, please put some W's in the chat as we have 3 new Keith Edwards Show members tonight. Hippie Punk Chick B 867, Blue Arizona 7494, and Schoolboy Cube Master 1465. Thank you so much for supporting the live stream. That means so much. And we are, we're working our way up. We're big on memberships. Okay. We're going to start providing not only like original content, we're going to start probably doing members only live streams. I don't know if we're going to do one at the end of this, if we're going to switch over to members only, but we are going to start offering like real substantial benefits to the members. So thank you to everyone who has become a member. And if you are just joining us, welcome to the live stream. We're about to Loomer up Laura Loomer, baby. We're going to get her Laura Loomered. And we do really want to thank everyone who has become a member, who's super chatted, and who's helping us build this show. This is our 5th Tuesday going live. Number 5. 5 times. That's pretty good. I hope you're enjoying it. We enjoy it. And your memberships and your support actually fund this experience. So thank you for doing it. And thank you for being here. Okay, I'm going to talk. Okay, I want to bring these up more because I'm actually insanely interested about this. I'm so glad that I have an internet following because I have been trying to figure out what is wrong with me. Someone says, Keith, it's mold. I've had the same issues in my apartment. That's so good to know. This has been crazy. Now, we're going to move on to Laura Loomer after this. I just want to be selfish and ask the audience, if there's mold found in my mold that makes you sick, I had it and I had to have it fixed. Now, if it is, because we're getting someone on Thursday to test for mold, do they test it immediately? Like, do you know, like, is it like the doctor's office? Like you find out that day? Does it take a couple days? And if there is a mold problem, can I like cancel my lease? Because I'm a renter, baby. I'm a renter. Can I get out of here? That's what I want to know. Because I think I even told them when there was a leak 3 weeks ago. I said, hey, what are we doing about mold? And so then I'm like, well, then can I get out of here? If there's a mold problem that they caused through their own negligence? Yeah? Yes, you can cancel? Okay. What a nightmare. Instantly. God damn it. You guys are so smart. Instantly. It could be gas. No, it's not. I don't have a gas stove. Without penalty. My attorney's wife died from black mold. Jesus Christ. Terrifying. Terrifying. Oh my God. John with the super chat scaring the hell out of me. says lots of chats. Thank you, John. Says, Keith, gone bad. You have to move or it will kill you. Jesus Christ. Whoa. Whoa. Did Trump do this? And I'm just going to pull this up because Erica says this twice now. Hey, Keith, did you sit in the hairstylist chair and ask for the John Ossoff? Love you and Ossoff. Hope my hairstyle joke didn't offend me. Not at all. Thank you for the, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Well, apparently I'm dying of black mold. Jesus Christ. I'm terrified. I mean, I'm like, should I not even stay here anymore? This is terrifying. I'm glad we're figuring it out together. Oh, it's a good, but I don't know. I'm not gonna say, but I'm not gonna be here much longer, I don't think anyways. So very scary. Don't stay there. Have them pay for a hotel. No, listen, I want to call out this management company so bad. They're such assholes. I hope they're not watching. Well, I hope they are. You're mean. You're mean to me. I'm just trying to fix my life. Okay, you've been so mean to me, this management company. God damn it. So no, they're not going to pay for a hotel. When I had the leak, I went and got a hotel, and they're like, we're not covering that. I was like, I think you have to. But anyway, sorry for the rant. Jesus Christ, this has been a nightmare. Yeah, funny, right? The music and talking about mold. Okay. All right, who's ready for Laura Loomer? Let's lighten things up, shall we? Let's lighten things up, right? Who wants to talk about Laura Loomer? Who wants to see Laura Loomer get loomered? I'm excited about this one. We weren't going to do anything. We literally, this wasn't even a plan for tonight. And then I'm just going to play this part. I'm so offended by this. And we should pull up, do we have Angie Nixon's response in the download? Let's pull that up. But this is why we were like, no, let's switch it all up. Let's switch it all up. Because when Laura Loomer did this shit, I was beside myself. Now, keep in mind, we're in a media environment where the media is so fixated on Hasan Piker. Meanwhile, an actual advisor to President Trump is saying stuff like this about a candidate for U.S. Senate, a Democrat running in Florida, Angie Nixon. 1 second.
But you have to understand that stereotypes exist for a reason. And if you are one of these people that doesn't want a stereotype out there, then, maybe you should start speaking out if you are a member of the Black community and calling out this behavior. Call out the entitlement of these, as I like to call them, ghetto Black bitches. And no, that is not painting all Black women with the same brush. But
it is actually. Saying ghetto Black bitch is so fucking offensive. To be saying this about a woman who's running just because she's running for U.S. Senate. And she also, in a subsequent post, said that Angie Nixon speaks Ebonics and that she's a dog and that she should be on a leash. Those are things that Laura Loomer said about this woman here. Now, the reason why we're doing this is not because of what she said, but because how she made Angie Nixon feel.
How are you?
Good morning. I am. I'm just tired, darling. It's become so normalized for people to continue to attack us. And all we simply want to do is just fight for the soul and the humanity of our country. We want to fight to make sure that people have access to quality health care, to good, fully funded public schools. I was told myself I was not going to do this. Y'all are not going to see me cry on camera, but this wasn't the first time that something like this happened, right? Like my primary opponent's wife said some really hurtful things in regards to what I wore, and his auntie talked about how I talked, and I'm from the South. I use y'all a lot, and I've been getting messages in my inbox. It's say you all, and if you want to have elite, what one specific woman told me, if I want to have rich people and well-educated people vote for me, that I need to change how I speak. First of all, I am a college-educated person. I graduated from the University of Florida, graduated from Stanton College Preparatory High School at the top of my class, but that doesn't matter. Even if I did not, it doesn't matter. People are very deserving of respect, and people should be able to run for office even if they are not college educated. Hell, even if they didn't graduate with a high school diploma, if they want to do something better for their communities, they should have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, so I saw that and I was just, I could not believe. I mean, first off, I love that this woman, Angie Nixon, was vulnerable with us, because what happens on the internet, I think we kind of all pretend like sometimes that like, oh, it's just the internet. It doesn't matter. No, what you say on there are real people on the other side of it. And I'm glad she was vulnerable, because this is we are in the Trump era where no one says sorry and everyone acts like nothing bothers them. I want to live in a world where people like Angie Nixon are in power and have empathy. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I'm like, I don't know why it's made me so, but like, this woman does not deserve that sort of, she just does not deserve, no one deserves that. Certainly someone who's running for office. So we're going to expose Laura Loomer tonight on the Keith Edwards Show, because fuck that. Angie Nixon is busy running a campaign. And so we're going to do some pro bono work for her. Oh man, sorry, I didn't mean to cry. First off, this is a totally different face. We went back 2 years, okay? That's a different person. It's a different person. Look at that. That's not, hello, that's a different face. That is a different person. This is where she was complaining that everyone was going after her because she rode the plane with Donald Trump to the 9/11 memorial and the 9/11 service, the 9/11 anniversary service. The reason why people got upset, first, let's just play a little bit of sound of her crying.
Time to win.
There is
the facts at hand for the American people. So as I was sitting there watching this 3 versus 1, as the debate's moderators, Lindsay Davis and David Murr from ABC News, frequently.
Yeah. And just to put a rubber stamp on this, she literally is one of these people that takes her face as a light suggestion. It's a light suggestion from God. Listen, we have 3 different people in front of us here. Some people change their names. This is crazy. By the way, nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with that. I think sometimes you just got to work with what you got. Okay. Now, the reason why people were mad at her, I forgot this happened. Laura Loomer posted that 9/11 was an inside job. Okay? Now, how many times has Abdul al-Sayed been asked about Hassan Piker and Hassan Piker saying America deserved 9/11? There was context in which the reason why Hassan Piker said that, but Hassan Piker has even denounced that statement. I believe that's like 7 years ago he said that. Abdul al-Sayed has had to answer for it still. And here we have, look at this, Laura Loomer saying 9/11 was an inside job. And yet she's free to talk about Republicans, work with their campaigns. She's still an advisor to the president of the White House. No one has asked about this shit. No one. So hypocritical. I suppose there's did America deserve 9/11? No. But we can all admit that it happened and that it wasn't us who did it. Is it worse to say we deserved it, or is it worse to say we did it to ourselves? You tell me. I'm pretty sure it's probably more offensive to say that we did 9/11 to ourselves, and yet she still rocks with the White House. She still has access to the president, and they're never asked about this. Now, Laura Loomer, if you don't know, where is this? Where is it? Oh, yeah. Laura Loomer, the reason why she exists again is because Elon Musk bought Twitter, and she used to be banned. And she was banned from Twitter. When she was banned from Twitter, she literally locked herself to Twitter's offices, and no one cared. Here's just a bit of that. Now, she's a conservative, yes. Is she Jewish? We're actually not as sure about that part. Her old buddy, Milo, can't remember how to say his name, Yiannopoulos? I don't know. I don't care to learn. I really don't care to learn. I hate that I know all these freaks. I hate that I know them. They exist. I refuse to learn about them as little as possible. I don't want to know anything at all. And I don't care. I don't have the respect to learn your last name. I'm sorry. But Milo Y has alleged that Laura Loomer is perhaps making that part of her story up. But before we get to that, this is how Laura Loomer responded to being banned from Twitter.
Those of us who have been silenced have actually taken legal action to actually do something. Okay, we need your money. We need your support. Help fund my lawsuit. Give me some money to fund my lawsuit. But what are they doing? I want to know what people are actually going to do. My life is ruined. Does anybody understand how ruined my life is? I'm sick of it. I don't want to listen to people tell me that I'm a conspiracy theorist. They don't know what it's like to be me. My life is ruined, Alex.
Has an ear to the president. That's all I'm going to say. Has an ear to the president. This one, by the way, you are a conspiracy theorist, as shown here. Now, we showed you the bit of her saying that, but just to point out that, yeah, everyone with an earpiece in the vicinity understands the acronym Laura Loomer protocol, which is LLP. According to this person's source from the New Republic, that is an actual strategy understood by White House advance teams. When a sighting is shared, the team knows to keep eyes on her and initiate containment. So they are well aware that not only does Laura Loomer have an ear to the president, but she is a problem. Now, as I said, Milo, did you guys know this? I didn't know. We did so much research on this. This woman's nuts. Now, I'm just going to say this. He posted this 2 years ago. I had no idea this existed. Look, again, just a totally different person. Now, I had no idea that this was true, or not true, that this had been alleged, that Laura Loomer isn't in fact Jewish. I'm going to bring that to you in just a moment. But let's just remember, 9/11 conspiracy theorist, locked herself up next on Twitter, says the most racist, vile things imaginable. And yet the president of the United States, when asked about her, says this about Laura Loomer.
What is your relationship with Laura Loomer? What kind of influence with Laura Loomer? What kind of influence does she have in the White House?
She's very nice. I mean, I know she's known as a radical right, but I think Laura Loomer is a very nice person. I've known her for a long time. And, personally, I think she's a patriot. And she gets excited because of the fact that she's a patriot. And she doesn't like things going on that she thinks are bad for the country. I like her.
Okay. So I'm no longer going to engage in the Hassan Piker, Democrats bad, Democrats need to disown, blah, blah, blah discourse. Donald Trump has this woman, defends her, says he likes her. I just showed you a little bit of the nasty shit she's done. So if that's the case, fine. I am not, then no Democrat has to denounce anything or anyone until either this woman's out of the picture or until Donald Trump kicks her out from his close circle. If those two things don't happen, you don't ask me anything about anyone because then it's like, it's uneven. It's not fair. I can't think of the word because I have black mold, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? All right. Now, Milo Yiannopoulos, who has been deported to the UK, apparently never allowed to come back to America again, likely deported because of Laura Loomer, has alleged the following. Loomer has been trading on her Jewishness for nearly a decade, using it to raise millions of dollars from Jewish donors for her failed congressional campaigns. She leverages it endlessly on X and in interviews, mostly to afford her insulation from criticism after some crude or childish expression of hatred for Muslim cabin drivers, donor kebabs, Friday prayers, or whatever. But what if I told you it was all a lie? She'd never invent an ethnicity or religious convictions just so she could get away with being more prejudiced, would she? Well, according to Milo, she did. Paul Bazile is a filmmaker who lives in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, who worked for Loomer in 2017. Bazile is the man who came up with the term Loomering to describe Loomer's uniquely brazen and infantile take on journalism. He was also present the day Loomer first decided to masquerade as Jewish at the March Against Sharia Law in summer of 2017. Is this not crazy? This shit's crazy to me. This is crazy. What we didn't show you is that Milo and Laura have known each other for a very long time, okay? They've been allies for a long time until they weren't. Quoted here says, I briefly worked with Laura producing videos when she was at Rebel Media. I worked on the promise of a salaried position that never materialized, getting her booked at the March Against Sharia Law in 2017. Immediately before the event, she produced a golden Star of David necklace from a plastic bag and told me she just bought it. Bazile continues, she explained to me that she was going to wear it so she can berate Muslims during her speech and tell anyone criticizing her she is just defending Israel as a Jew. Laura laughed about it as she asked me to fasten the clasp on the necklace before giving a speech that she begrudgingly had to write that morning because the organizers shot down her original plan to just, quote, burn a Quran. Loomer's father, Jeff, is an atheist with some Jewish heritage, but sent Loomer to Catholic boarding school. Her mother is a British Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Her stepmother is a Christian. Loomer doesn't attend shul, temple, or synagogue, and doesn't keep Shabbos or observe Jewish holidays, even though she posts about them assiduously on X. Gruesome reports from her former sexual conquest suggest she has never once immersed herself in mikvah. Loomer has confirmed in interviews that she was raised in a secular household and said on multiple occasions that she considers herself an atheist. Goes on to say here that Loomer doesn't speak Hebrew or Yiddish, never had a bat mitzvah, and used the Yiddish word meshigana, meaning crazy, incorrectly in an ad targeting her opponent, Lois Frankel, in the same election. Loomer claims her British Christian mother has some Jewish ancestry, satisfying Jewish matrilineal requirements. But that too is a lie. We checked her mother's family her tree back 4 generations. There aren't any Jews on it. She's also likes to brandish a certificate she acquired from an obscure rabbi in Israel as proof of her Jewishness, but the document can be obtained by anyone who pays a small fee, and the rabbi who issues them doesn't check in any of the claims applicants make. And to test the theory, Milo says he acquired certificates for both of his cats, Helen and Troy, in preparation for the story. Both are now Jewish, as is Loomer. So there you go. Laura Loomer. Allegedly not Jewish. That's actually nuts, but I'm not shocked. I feel like we said the things we needed to say to avoid lawsuits. I don't know if this is true or not. This is one allegation. Certainly, if her mom is Jewish, that clears it up right there. Certainly, if she's a member of a temple and she goes regularly, there's a rabbi or members of the temple who could vouch on her behalf. But without those things, I don't know. And I'll just say this. We did live in an era where someone like Donald Trump alleged that Obama didn't have a birth certificate. Okay? And actually wasn't even born here. So with that all in mind, I think this is all fair game. And honestly, just putting on my thinking cap here, it sounds true. It sounds true to me. Wouldn't it? If she wanted to prove us wrong, she's more than likely, she's more than welcome. I welcome the opportunity to be told wrong. I'm wrong. Now, a more disgusting revelation is the following. One wonders, how did Laura Loomer get so close to the president? How? Well, this is so gross. This is so gross. Milo, again, this is all when they're in a fallout. So take this as lightly or as seriously as you want. Laura Loomer sued over these allegations. She sued Bill Maher for making a joke about it. The lawsuit was, whatever it's called, dismissed. But he says here, Laura Loomer is telling our mutual friends that her intimate relationship with the president led to, quote, the best blowjob of his life. His words, according to Laura. It's just really interesting, right? Like these people that say things like ghetto black bitch, you know, you're a dog who needs to be on a leash. Isn't it always projection with this shit? It's always projection. Did Laura Loomer give Donald Trump the best blowjob of his life? I'm sure Donald Trump's had really good blowjobs, you know? Were they the best? I don't know. Could it be the best from Laura? Probably not. Probably not. Did she give him one? I don't know. But these are allegations are out there. There's our, oh my God, her fucking face. Laura Loomer responded to all these allegations, and here's what she had to say.
And it's disgusting. The way that they're now spreading lies about me. The media now is accusing me of, you know, having an affair with Donald Trump, such a salacious lie. So malicious, so disrespectful to Donald Trump and Melania Trump. They've taken it so far. And you know, if I was a leftist journalist, if I was a Democrat, oh my God, the media would be up in arms if the Republican media was doing this to a a left-wing journalist. Oh my God, they're misogynist. They're bullying a woman. They're trying to Monica Lewinsky her. They're demonizing her. They're trying to discredit the fact that she's a working woman.
Well, Laura Loomer doesn't like that someone is making false allegations against her, she says. Well, God, that sounds terrible. Who would ever do that? Who would ever do that? All right. Wait, someone wrote here. South Canadian says, not to sound like a hetero fanboy or anything, but I'm stoked that I finally came across a live KE broadcast. Usually I'm 1+ hours late, and that ain't as fun. Oh my God. Can we get some W's in the chat for South Canadian boy? And thank you all for being here. So glad you can be with us tonight as we dive into the suffering life of Laura Loomer. But no, I'm really glad that you got to make it here on the live stream. And thank you everyone who is hanging out on a Tuesday night talking about some nasty ass stuff. But yeah, W's in the chat. We love our Canadian friends. I'm so glad you're here. All right. Now, Laura Loomer actually she literally took ownership and responsibility over the fact that Milo was deported. It says here, Loomer, Milo Yiannopoulos, is in ICE custody after I exposed his illegal alien lifestyle. So this is a person with quite a bit of power, okay? So that's like truly why this all matters. Like it really shouldn't. Like I wish we did not have to pay attention to someone who's clearly not on the level. She is, I would say, disturbed. We do know that she cannot get a firearm in Florida because she has experienced mental troubles, and she clearly is just not well, right? But we have to pay attention to this because she literally has the power. She has gotten people fired who have worked in the administration. She allegedly got Milo deported. So someone like that must be talked about. And again, not to like beat a dead horse. Where's that expression come from? Not to beat a dead horse. Gross. But Hasan Piker has no power. Okay? He campaigned a couple of times with someone he thought would be a good U.S. senator. And the entire political media ecosystem and establishment has been attacking him. And yet you have this freak here, Laura, who has done very questionable things and has real power and an ear to the president. And yet it's like no one talks about it. No one talks about it. All right. Now, Milo actually talked about his deportation here. And I want to watch this with you.
So what's your history with Laura Loomer?
You know, I went to work for her campaign when she ran for Congress the first time. I didn't really know her then. We were an acquaintance. I was going to be her communications director. It was clear after a couple of weeks there was something very, very wrong with her. She's the kind of person who ordinarily is more of a danger to themselves than to others, but unfortunately she's fallen into this kind of, symbiotic, sort of toxic relationship with Trump where he can't get enough of her obsequious toadying praise. And she can't get enough of, the clout from the proximity. And so I think he, allows her to run riot because he, likes anybody who praises him, especially, I guess, these days, because they're pretty few and far between.
I don't want to get into the specifics of this because let me just finish my point. Because of the defamation law in the UK, where we're doing this interview, we have to be careful. But my understanding is that you accused her of something when you were working with her in relation to another staff member, which I don't want you to discuss in detail because we don't have any way of corroborating it.
That's right.
But do you believe that this may then be a sort of payback for what you tried to do then?
Well, because I saw that there was something very seriously wrong with her. I was one of the people who, made sure that Trump did not endorse her the second time. when she ran for Congress the second time. So, I mean, if she's got a grudge about that, fair enough. I don't think, look, I find it difficult in a way to hold anything against her because I don't think she's well. And whenever the Laura Loomer show comes crashing down, as I'm sure it will any moment, I think she's going to need a lot of prayer, and she's going to need a lot of, she's going to need a lot of the people that she's really burned. I may not find time in my diary to.
Lady Karashka says, is he okay? No, he's not. No one in this situation is okay. No one here is okay. No one. No, you're right. No one is okay. No one here, even, okay, I don't know about Pierce Moore, but no. There are no winners in this story.
To send her a loving note, but that is I have to say, and I've spoken to mutual friends of ours and other people in Washington about the fact that that this administration seems to have kind of devolved into the Loomer admin. To think that the promise and hope and joy and anticipation of Trump 2016 could sort of, over the course of 10 years, collapse into this ugly, warmongering, taken as a whole, mentally ill heap of crazy, with some of the most, unstable and lunatic people seemingly directing the president's actions. If I had any clue that anything remotely like this, was even possible, I would never have got involved in supporting Trump in the first place. And I'm very ashamed that I did.
Okay, I don't believe you, but whatever. Again, there are no winners in this situation. Now, Milo said this is what he had to talk about when it came to being swarmed by 15 ICE agents.
The first I heard of it was when 15 agents swarmed me at Louisiana Airport. And it didn't get any less theatrical from there on. I was moved. I didn't eat for 24 hours. I was promised, a nurse that never came. I was promised a phone call that never came. I was promised all kinds of things that never came. I mean, just about everything that you hear that people are supposed to have as far as, rights and abilities when they get arrested, I did not have. Nobody would tell me anything. And the really telling detail for me is that two of the ICE agents during this process recognized me from 2016 when I was a big supporter of the president.
Oh, come on.
And one of them said something along the lines of, yeah, I'm not doing this. And the other one said something along the lines of, this is not what I got into this for.
Oh my God, what a liar.
And at least one of them, and I think two of them, walked off the job because they didn't want to do it.
Fucking lying. Okay, oh yeah, I'm sure. Okay, Milo, yeah. The people of ICE who are killing Americans in the street said, this is a bridge too far for me. It's a bridge too far for me. Arresting Milo, someone pronounced it for me. Milo Yiannopoulos. That's too much. I'm out of here. I quit. Give me a break. God damn it. Is everyone a liar? Is everyone? Does everyone lie? Am I the only person who doesn't lie? Am I a loser? Should I just be lying all the time? Are people that gullible? Are you kidding me? Oh, Laura agrees with me. That's scary. She reached out to sources at DHS and told her that his claim that multiple ICE agents walked off the job, didn't want to tame him, is fabricated. I don't know. There are no winners in this. There are no winners in this situation. Milo also regrets his support for Trump. Yeah, well, that's what happens to everyone. Eventually, everyone regrets their support of Trump. All right, we're going to go to your comments here. Someone says, AJ Vintage says, why do we give folks like this a platform, idiots like this a platform? Well, we don't. They have them. Unfortunately, the insane people are running the asylum. So unfortunately, we have to focus on these people because they are They are the players of the news. They are the news right now. So we must unfortunately focus on them. I wish we didn't. That's why we have Good News Fridays, though. Here on Friday, it's some random time on Fridays we release that. Sometimes Saturdays, depending upon how I feel. But that's why we have at least one video every week where we talk about things that do not have to do with Trump that are good news. Because this shit is exhausting. It's exhausting. But let's recap, shall we? Let's recap. 9/11 I'm gonna go full. 9/11 conspiracy theorist says 9/11 is an inside job. Allegedly not Jewish, even though she says she is. Allegedly did unthinkable things to Donald Trump to get in his good graces. For sure, tied herself up to Twitter when she got banned from the platform. This can't have a firearm because she's mentally unwell. This is the person who is directing ICE on who and who not to arrest. Yeah, I do think we have to focus on that, unfortunately. Unfortunately. All right, let's go to your comments here. We're not talking about the mold. We're talking about the story. We're not talking about the mold. Lady Korishka says, it really is exhausting. Yes, it is very, very exhausting. It is very exhausting. Oh, Broadway Scott D. Notice the new emojis, baby. New emojis for the members. That's right. We got new emojis in the house. Very exciting stuff. Oh my God. Oh God. Everyone was talking about the mold. No. I'm not talking about the mold. All right. Well, we have two more stories. We have two more. Oh yeah. Let's do a cleanse with this. I think this is good. I think this is right.
Good afternoon. Fuck Donald Trump. Remember, every step you take in this world, you carry with you every person that ever lived before you. And now we carry the life force of Dolly and Tim with us. Every person you reach out and touch with your spirit, with your energy, hold them. Feel the light that surrounds you.
God, I love her. I love her. I love her. Wait, oh, I didn't put it in my soundboard. Let me see if I can do it real fast. Let me see if I can add this real fast. We want to make it part of the show. Can you send me that thing again? Oh, yeah. Got it. Are you ready for this? Oh, wait. This one. Let's see if this works. I'm gonna turn this all the way up so you can hear it.
Fuck Donald Trump.
That feels good. I think we could turn it up a little more. Let's see.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Could go even louder. Even louder.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. One more time.
Fuck Donald Trump.
I like that. We need an FDT emoji, actually. Actually. No one likes the elevator music. I like it. You know, you're going to learn to love it because I like it. I like the music. Truly, what other kind of music could you do? Hip hop? No. Like, this is like the perfect music for like in between stuff. Sorry. Hip hop? No. Rock and roll makes no sense. Jazz? Maybe. Maybe you could do jazz. We could try that. But I like this kind of music. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel good in a world that isn't offering a lot of that right now. I mastered the flute. Kelly goes, you really mastered the flute. Yeah, I used to play the flute. I played the flute. Really popular in high school. Really popular guy. Flute and piccolo. Oh yeah, had everyone wanted to be my friend. Everyone. All right. Okay, so I'm going to let you pick. Do we want to watch Hunter Biden and Mehdi Hasan, which it's a complicated interview. It's complicated. Or we just got a hodgepodge of clips. Viral clips. Clips. It's like a grab bag, okay? Do you want the mystery bag? You want the mystery bag? Let's put up a poll. Mystery bag or Hunter Biden? Get the mystery bag or Hunter Biden? Polls up. Let's give you 2 minutes to answer. We're going to give you 2 minutes. And in the meantime, we're going to play the music that you know and love. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. I can't see it on my computer. I'm going to vote too. I've got to vote. Democracy. That's the wrong app, Keith. I can't vote. Wow. Rigged. I literally can't vote? Are you kidding me? I can't even see the poll. Well, who's winning? I can't see it. Oh, random clips are winning. Interesting. Oh my God, it's close. Oh, it's close. 50-50. All right. We got like a minute. Wow. See? Your vote matters. Your vote matters. Hunter is pulling into the lead. You got 30 seconds. I voted 3 times. That's funny. Hunter's winning. Okay. Hunter won. Congratulations, Hunter. Stop the steal. All right, can you hand me the Hunter? Oh my God, 55-45. Hunter wins. Wasn't even close in the end, was it? All right, can you hand me the clips, Kelly? Find me the 11K votes, someone. All right, we're pulling up the clips right now. Wow, I cannot believe I have mold. what is happening in my life? Okay, we're pulling these up. Oh, there's a bunch. Okay, I want to watch the one. These are not Mehdi. Okay. All right. Now, did you know this? Hunter Biden, I did not know this until this came across my desk. Hunter Biden said that Kamala Harris is a terrible politician. Did you know he said that? I don't know the context in which he said that, but he said that. Kamala Harris, who was a ride or die for Biden, picked up where Biden left off to try to defeat fascism in 2024. We can all have a debate about how that all unfolded, whether there should have been another process. But I do think she really did. I do think in that moment, she really did try to serve the nation. Obviously, serving herself, being president is a big deal. But I do think she did that with a service mentality. And she did it to defend Joe Biden's legacy. And Hunter Biden apparently said that Kamala Harris is a terrible politician. Now, the reason why I know that is because he was interviewed by Mehdi Hasan a couple days ago. Now, I'm sure you have seen that Hunter Biden has been on every single channel except ours. He hasn't been on ours. I literally tweeted at him. I was like, "Hey, Hunter, I'm sober. You want to come on my channel? We talk about sobriety." Didn't respond to me. He's been on every other. It seems like he's gone on every channel except this one. That's okay. But he was on Zateo with Mehdi Hasan. And Mehdi Hasan, I'm going to tell you, he is a good interviewer. This man knows how to interview. This is one reason why I don't do interviews, because I think it requires this level of badassery and preparation to do it right. I think this, to me, is like a real interview. There are some people who have a conversation, and there's some people who do interviews. I don't mind having a conversation, but I think there's such it's such an art to do an interview correctly and well. And you can tell that Mehdi came to this thing very prepared. And I'll tell you what, I'd like to have a conversation with Mehdi Hasan. I never want to be interviewed by this man. This man is a ninja. He's a warrior. But he was confronted with his statement about Kamala Harris being a terrible politician. And here is what he had to say.
You said in a recent interview that you think Kamala Harris is, quote, not a very good politician. Harris was given only 107 days by your dad to try and win an election.
$2 billion.
She stayed loyal to him throughout. Yeah. When he told her on the day of the debate against Trump, no daylight kid between them, she stuck to that. Yeah. When she went on The View and they said, what would you have done differently to Joe Biden? She said, nothing comes to mind. In that moment, I thought she's going to lose this election. She needs to break with Joe Biden. Yeah. I would argue that cost her the presidency. She refused to break with your dad, stayed loyal with him till the end, cost herself the presidency. And many would say, here you are throwing her under the bus, saying she's not a very good politician.
Oh, boy. Sometimes the way that you lead up to these questions is like that heightened. Is that, I just think that the way that she's handled it.
What does that mean? Unpack that for me. I don't understand that. What could she have done better?
Here's what I also like to say about the vice president. I think that the vice president served the country incredibly well, and that she has a deep, rich future in politics. Whether she wants to run for president again, she'll be one of the, if not the front runner.
But she's not a very good politician.
No, and I think that the way that she is going about it right now is, at least from my perspective.
I'm looking for some details. What does that mean?
Well, I think this is that I think that I think that this administration, unlike you, I don't think that she should have ever been any daylight between. She can make daylight between herself and my dad, but not in terms of what they were able to accomplish over that 4-year period. I think that there may be daylight as issues related to Gaza and as it relates to Israel, that of course she needs to be able to stake her own ground on that.
She didn't.
Well, that didn't have anything to do with my dad. It
He
didn't have
pressure
anything.
her to no daylight, kid?
Nothing to do with loyalty to my dad, from my perspective. But here's the thing: is that you know what? She's a free agent now. I'm Hunter Biden. I get to think whatever the hell that I want to think about anybody. It doesn't have to do with my
You're
dad's
saying she could say
position.
whatever she wanted now,
What?
that she
What?
couldn't say are you saying she could say whatever she wanted to say now that she couldn't say in the race?
Quite possibly. No, I'm saying I get to.
Okay.
I get to have an opinion.
No, that's why you're here. I like hearing your opinions, but I'm just wondering,
My point
I'm
is,
asking, why do you think she's
so
not a very
I hear
good politician?
people go like, well, she was so loyal to your dad, and she
was.
this and that and the other thing. Well, maybe from your perspective, but maybe not from mine.
How is she not loyal to your dad?
That's between me and her.
You can't just dangle that out.
Sure I can. You know why? You know why I can? Because I ain't running for anything, Mehdi. I can say whatever the I want.
All right. So let me just. What kind of language is that?
Yeah.
Let me just rephrase.
No, you were
I'm
just
joking. Let me just say whatever you want.
Yeah.
Let me just rephrase that then, or re-clarify that.
Yeah.
You're saying that people say Kamala Harris is loyal to your dad. You shouldn't therefore attack her. You're saying you don't think she was loyal to your dad, but you're not going to tell us why.
No. You don't get to re-clarify it. Let me just state it exactly clearly. I think that she was loyal to my father, and I don't think that she was loyal to a fault, however.
All right, so I watched this. I was actually pretty disappointed by this. I think there are a lot of reasons to be critical. I mean, I think it's okay to be critical of anyone, especially when they're seeking the highest office in the world. I think if you're not critical of that person, makes me question you. We should be critical of the people who want to lead us. But it's different for me as a voter and for me as a commentator than Hunter Biden, who was literally of the 5 people in Joe Biden's inner circle who were telling him to keep running when, sorry, Joe Biden clearly did not have the support not only of his party, but many average voters thought that he was just frankly too old to run. And then when he had that debate performance, it was just like game over. But Hunter Biden was one of the ones who was like, you got to keep going. You got to keep going. And Kamala Harris, I don't frankly care what anyone thinks about her. I do think that she did what she fucking could to try to win an election against someone that never should have been in power again. And for Hunter Biden to then be like, listen, he can have an opinion that Kamala Harris is a terrible politician. Sure. But it's so cowardly, in my opinion, to say that she's a terrible politician and then not to give a reason why. Okay? You can't have it both ways. You can't say something as aggressive that as someone, it's just also just so, I think, like, what's the word? It's just not appreciative of everything that she did for your family and for the country. Okay? Now, I wish the process would have been different. I wish that we had a primary. I wish Joe Biden would have passed the baton. I wish that if Kamala Harris ended up winning that primary, I would have been behind her 100%. I do wish she would have put some daylight between her and Joe Biden. I wish she would have called out the atrocities happening in Gaza. I wish she would have said that she put some limits in Israel. I wish she would have said all those things. She didn't. Why? Because of intense loyalty and respect for Joe Biden. Because if not for Joe Biden, she wouldn't have been able to even have the opportunity to run as president. And then I truly don't understand where this animosity comes from. And if I'm not understanding it, it's his job to help me I want to understand your side. But if you're not able to go there, then maybe don't say she's a terrible politician if you can't back it up. It's just so cowardly. Anyway, hats off to Mehdi Hasan, who I think did such a good job interviewing Hunter Biden. Mehdi Hasan is an assassin. He is an assassin. He does not use weapons. He uses his words, and he is an assassin. He's a verbal assassin. Now, I think there's one more clip. Wasn't there one more clip from this interview? Oh, yes. I think there's one about Gaza. Let's see here. It's in here. Hold on. I'm going to find it. This is an interesting one to me. I think this is a sign of like how things have really shifted on this issue. Let me see here. Sorry. For some reason, it's not up on my thing. Can you send it to me? Yeah, thank you. Says, in hindsight, it was wrong to send over $18 billion of weapons to Israel while in office.
In hindsight, it was wrong.
You say it's a genocide. Yeah. And yet in the first year of that genocide, that we both agree is a genocide, the worst crime of all, Joe Biden and his administration, Antony Blinken, sent over $18 billion of weapons to Israel. They bypassed Congress twice to send extra ammo and weapons. The Israeli ambassador to the US at the time said, and I quote, well, he said later, but he was the ambassador at the time, God did the state of Israel a favor that Biden was the president during this period. He added, your father, quote, never came to us and said, ceasefire now. Regardless of what he says, through his actions, he was Israel's best friend, and that genocide could not have happened without him. Do you disagree?
I don't know, Mehdi. It's a really hard thing to grapple with. And I'll be honest with you, is that I will not, and don't ever intend to, defending everything that my dad's administration did, particularly as it relates to this policy.
Yes.
I can tell you this, though, that it was done in good faith and not without an enormous amount of heartache over watching what the Israelis then went on and did with our help and with his administration's help. It's painful to me. And I will tell you this, is that, you know, and I know that this is going to get clipped and everybody's going to think. I think that and this is my point about the nuances of this. I think that there are legitimate definitions of Zionism that don't include a Christo-fascist Zionism, that don't include an Orthodox Zionism, Israeli Zionism.
No, I understand that.
Yeah. And so my point is that I think that my dad's position on Israel is very, very rooted in his generational...
I understand.
Yeah, okay.
But actually, you're doing something you didn't want to do. You're speaking for him. I'm not asking you to speak for him.
No, I'm not.
I'm asking you to speak for you.
Him.
I'm saying, do you believe
that
that genocide could have happened without $18 billion of weapons that your dad sent Netanyahu?
Of course not.
Diplomatic cover.
Well, maybe not. Of course not. I don't know. I don't.
But he
know
was complicit in that. Okay.
That's all like, it's like he answers the question, then he's like, oh wait, hold on. Now this I understand. I actually think it's not fair. I don't like, regardless of what you think happened in Israel with Israel and Gaza and Joe Biden's complicity in that, which I do think he is complicit because he does have a generational feeling towards Israel that's different than the Israel we have today, certainly with Netanyahu. But I don't think it's fair to try to get the son of someone to speak poorly about their father. I think from a personal perspective, I can understand that. This is where I'm like, okay, I do feel like it's a hard, I think it's almost impossible, especially if your father is the president and your father has literally been by your side through some of the worst things a son can put their family through and still is by your side. I kind of, just from like a human perspective, I don't think this is fair of him. Okay. But it is interesting that he does answer and then he's like, oh, wait, hold on. This is my father. So he did kind of say, like, if not for the 18 billion, this wouldn't have gone as far as it did. And I have to say, like, even my own perspective around this has shifted. My own perspective around this has shifted too. And I think a lot of people have, after seeing like, oh, they're not providing water, they're not letting food in, they're killing journalists. It's just like, what else? Like, it just was so obvious. And I used to not understand why, especially during the 2024 election, I was so liberal brained that I did not understand why people were focused on it. I get it now, because truly, if not for our funding, if not for America's complicity in this, then it would never have gotten this bad. And we actually could have put real guardrails on them to prevent the worst of the worst. And we didn't. And I think that's a stain that unfortunately this country is going to have to live with. But I understand. I guess I understand evolving on this, and it isn't really hard to evolve when you see and hear about what's actually coming out of that, coming out of the news from there. So, okay. So I think that's all we have with the Hunter Biden stuff. Listen, I love Mehdi Hasan. I would love for him to come on the channel sometime as a friend, not as a foe, but he did a good job here, and my hat's off to him. This is something that we just don't get enough of, is actual, like CNN doesn't do shit like this, really. Like, just like confronting you with your own beliefs and questioning why he didn't say anything mean. He was just like, why did you say that? Why did you say that? Very skillful and artful. And I think that's something that we just don't get enough of. Kevin says here, says of Kamala Harris, she literally chose a strategy where she didn't mention Biden's economy for fear of association with him. Hunter literally called it on the clip. I don't see it your way. I mean, I don't think anyone in 2024, if they have two eyes and 2 ears, could see that, like, sure, the economy, I guess you have to define economy, because I think, was the stock market doing well? Sure. Had we recovered from the worst parts of COVID? Yeah. Was the economy working for most people? No. And by the way, at some level, this is just like a personal thing in your own life. If someone says, I feel X, Y, and Z, and you say, no, you don't, because ABC, you're never, like, it's just no, it's, oh, you feel that way? Okay, let me try to understand why you feel. If people feel like the economy is not working, then guess what? The economy is not working. And no matter how much you give them stats or how much you tell them, actually, things are great, it's actually, in my opinion, offensive to tell people that you don't know how they feel about their own economic situation. I remember I was invited to the White House. That's where I met Luke Beasley. I was invited to the White House for a State of the Union preview thing, and everyone's going around the circle. There's a bunch of content creators going around the circle saying, Joe Biden's so great. The economy's, I'm so grateful I'm here, blah, blah, blah. And you can fact check this. I raised my hand and said, hey, I just want you to know where I'm from, which is from just outside of Detroit in Warren, Michigan. I don't know how you can tell, because they were telling us the State of the Union is about how, like, the economy's humming and blah, 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 blah. And I said, I don't know how you can tell people that they're no longer drowning when you've reached for their hand and perhaps you've pulled them up, but they're still 2 feet underwater. That's, to me, is like kind of was the message of the White House, was it's not as bad as you think. Shut up. Why aren't you grateful for everything we've done? Okay. All right, we have a big update. We have a big fucking update. You better believe I'm looking at Twitch. Where we have 8 people in the Twitch live. 8. One of you better fucking write something right now, because I'm looking at you right now. If you don't write something, then too bad. But we are on Twitch. We do multi-stream. Turns out, oh yeah, there we go. Cody Werther, what's up, baby? Hell yeah. We're lit in here. We've been having fun. I love Twitch. I wish we had more people on Twitch. Says 9 for me. Yeah, went up to 9. Samster. Yeah, so if you don't know, we also are live streaming there. I'll tell you what, I like the people on Twitch are smart. They're smart and they're quick. And by the way, the emojis are better. W-Twitch indeed. Now there's only 6. Okay. You win and you lose. But we are on Twitch. And if you ever feel like Twitch is more your thing, you can definitely go over there and hang out. Cody, I'm going to say one more thing. We got Cody on the, we got Cody. Cody Werther is actually engaging in the chat on Twitch. Yeah, Twitch is, I do think Twitch is better than YouTube. Oh my God, we're at 11. Holy shit. Okay. I like to bring back my banger of a joke that I tossed in here that Laura Loomer's sternum has been coined Silicon Valley. Twitch is awesome. God damn it. I want to get a lot of Twitch people. I think Twitch is like such a good, it's just such a good crowd. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Thanks for hanging out on Twitch. And YouTube. We love you too. We love you too. Okay. Okay. All right. So we are, that made me laugh. That made me laugh. All right. We have grab bag. Should we just do the grab bag? And we're going to end the stream. And I'm going to deal with my fucking mold crisis. I can't believe it's mold. Fuck. Oh yeah, we're on Twitch. Yeah. No, it's 24 people, 25 people on Twitch. Fuck. Wait, everyone go to Twitch. Yeah, but oh, thank you. Thank you for subscribing to Prime. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I think Twitch is cool. We're gonna multi-stream. The goal is to be everywhere. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Let's pull up this. They have better emotes. Absolutely. Okay. Cody's cute. Okay. Can we pull up I want to pull up the what's her name? Northwest. Yeah. And do you have comments from it too? Cool. Oops. Okay. All right, here's a grab bag. These are things that I saw on the internet and I felt compelled. Okay, first off, if you don't know who this is, good, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. This is Northwest, who is the daughter of Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Now, the right has gone insane on this clip. They've gone insane. I have some thoughts on it. We got some commentary, but I first want to show you this.
Got me calling now.
Okay, now people were going like saying like, I mean, I guess she's 13. I feel sorry for her. That's a troubled kid. That was basically the overall sentiment, you know, like she's rich, blah, blah, blah. She's matured too early. And here's what I had to say about this is, listen, when I was a kid, and I was 14, 15. Yeah, even you people are like disturbing. I totally disagree. Midsummer Summit, disturbing? I don't think so. Like, yeah, she's rich, so she's able to do this to the extreme. But when I was 14, I was every single hair color under the sun. Maroon, blonde, black hair. And if I could have dressed like this, you better believe I would have done that. And I would have had a lot of fun, okay? Nothing wrong, in my opinion. Like, it's just the fact that it's a rich person with famous people. Everyone's got an opinion about it. But I'm just like, who cares? Just let her have fun. Let her have fun. She has a wig on and she's wearing makeup and she's in a cool costume. Like, who cares? Of all the things to get upset about, this has 1.6 million views. And again, if this was a kid with blue hair wearing a cool black dress, and it's like a middle class, it would not have been a big deal. And I just think we need she's just a cool creative person who's having fun. And there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, we should lift people like that up. There is a lack of creativity and coolness in our culture now. Everyone wants to be the same. No. I'm glad that there's at least this 13-year-old feels, I think it's to me, it's like a sign of great parenting that she feels so emboldened to just be who she feels like she is. We should all encourage that. We shouldn't shame it at all. What's the difference between this and like when I was 16 coming out as gay and my parents being like, so what? You know, we should just encourage kids to figure out who they are. It makes for healthier children. Okay. I love it. I want her to do more. I want to see green hair. I want to see a red dress. I just love it. And I wish people would chill out. And of course, the right is so stupid about it. Yeah, she's a cool girl. Let's see what someone said here. Yeah, this is so fucked up. Instead of buying her a blue bust down and grills, Kim needs to get her to orthopedic therapy and a dietitian, but she won't do that. Fuck this. Like, that's a 13-year-old. Again, like, she's a famous person, but telling a kid she needs to lose weight just because she felt the need to express herself on the internet, which, by the way, most kids do. So disgusting and disturbing. I don't know what this person says. It's in Spanish. Is it going to translate it? Oh, yeah. The father's mental illness apparently is hereditary. Like, again, it's just a kid having fun. But this is the problem with our culture. Is like everyone pretends like they want you to be who you are until you are, and it scares them. People get scared by other people who are willing and able to live to their fullest selves, or are willing to experiment to see who they are, what they want to be, because it reminds them that they're too scared to do it themselves. That's all this is. It's a bunch of adults realizing, oh, I don't know who I am, and I'm not willing to explore. And the fact that someone else is, I've got to shame that person, because otherwise I have to look at the fact that maybe who I'm living as isn't actually who I am. God damn it. Anyways, that's what that all brought up for me. I'm glad we got to talk about it. What else we got? This is Grab Bag. We should probably have theme music for this. Oh, yes. Okay, this woman is awesome. So this is who is this lady on the right? She was like, I think she's like the woman from the college town who, like, she like went to school. She like graduated, but she wore a rifle or something. I think that's her claim to fame. And now she's a Turning Point USA influencer. She was bothering this nice lady, being like, hey, don't you think homeless people shouldn't be allowed to have health care? And she was like, what?
Okay, so I'm going to keep it short and simple. Do you support giving free health care to illegal immigrants in this country?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they come here, they work just as hard as anybody else.
Illegal immigrants?
Hold on. On Twitch, it says we have a hype train. Can someone tell me what that is? I don't know what that is. We're at a hype train. Someone explain that to me. We're on a hype train on Twitch. We're at level 2.
Yeah. Okay. Just harder than anybody else.
Okay, so they work harder. So what about the people, what about the American citizens who work that would have to pay for their free health care from taxes?
Oh, it's because people came there en masse. W's in the chat for Twitch subs. Absolutely. I love Twitch. God damn it. I hope we get more followers on Twitch. Sorry to interrupt.
Doing jobs regardless that nobody else is doing. So if you factor that, and they're still stimulating the economy, so there's really no reason to not.
And the taxpayers who would be paying for their free health care is also stimulating the economy.
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair to make me or make my fiance pay for an illegal immigrant's free health care?
Well, that's not even a thing right now. So are you saying like...
Every single candidate up on the stage for the Democratic debates raise their hand.
Die in the street.
Well, that's not what's happening.
I mean, I'm saying essentially.
Well, dying in the street.
street.
That's not what I'm saying. No, absolutely not. When did I say that?
So you're saying because they're illegal, they don't deserve health care.
They don't deserve free health care from America. I don't think that, no.
Right, but who gets that? Nobody.
Because it's not a right in this country. No one should get free health care.
I think people should not have to die in the street. I think free health care should be a thing.
So should we give free health care to the American citizens who are homeless instead of the illegal immigrants who aren't citizens?
I think we shouldn't let people die in the street.
It's like, yeah, I think everyone should have health care. Yeah. Wait. So like, do you think everyone should have health? Yeah. But what about people who can't afford it? Yeah. Okay. Can I just tell you, it's September 1st. I officially have health care for the first time as an adult. I've had it like sporadically when I work for the city council, I had health care, but I just haven't had it. And I, thankfully, because of the support of the channel, I've been able to acquire health care. And I did not know how much of a scam healthcare is. It is a scam. It is a scam. What if I told you, you have to pay for a subscription, and the subscription gives you the opportunity to pay more. And so you have healthcare, but you actually have to still pay out of pocket to pay a thing called a deductible. And then after you pay the deductible, we might cover it, but we might not. We also might say that we actually can't cover that. And so you have to pay for it still. It's such a scam. In like what world is that? How is this the system? I know we're used to it, but it just doesn't make sense to me. You pay so much money a month, and then there's still a deductible. Yes, thank you for W Healthcare.
I agree with you. I don't think that's happening.
Right.
Where is that happening at?
There's a lot of people that don't go to the hospital simply because of too high medical bills. There's a lot of people that can't afford health insurance or their jobs don't have benefits. There's American citizens today that work.
Yeah, good point. American citizens.
I think we shouldn't let people die in the street. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Even if it would cost me money out of my pocket, we should give free health care.
The money that people are paying taxes is not going to things that they say they're going to. We all know that these politicians are lining their pockets.
So why should we raise our taxes in support of free health care if, by your words, it's not going there?
Regardless, it's not going to where it's supposed to be.
So we shouldn't fund free health care.
If we do get to a common goal to where we're helping people not have to die in the street or be sick, then so be it.
You keep saying dying in the street. Where do you see people dying in the street?
There's people laying down the street right now.
Are they illegal immigrants dying from lack of free health care?
No, I mean, it's regular people. But for example, if somebody got sick or got cancer, like, they should be taken care of regardless.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree with you. I agree that they should be taken care of, but.
Well, there you go. I'm glad. Yeah, that's the thing is like there's really just there's no moral way to answer that if someone is sick or has cancer, that we as a society should collectively find a way to take care of them. It shouldn't be one person's burden. The thing is too, like how much I pay for healthcare, how much you pay for healthcare, how much the employer pays for, there's enough money in the system that if we just redirected it to something that works for everyone, we'd all be better off. It just is so obvious. And yet we're in this system. Anyways, this woman's a queen, and I'm grateful that this moment was found. It's actually a very old clip, and yet it's gone viral again. What else we got in the grab bag? Oh. What is this? It says, I love Montreal so much because what you do means there's a hospital repair kids plushies with its own ambulance in my neighborhood. That's very cute. That's very cute. Is that all? Is that all we have in the grab bag this week? No, there's one more. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted to watch this. Joe Rogan is he's like so close to getting it.
How much less crime there would be if no one was ever starving, if no one was ever hungry, if no one was ever desperate, if no one was ever worried about where their next meal was going to come from or whether or not they're going to have a roof over their head.
Yeah.
It would change a lot of people's perspective, because how many people act in a famine way? They have a famine mentality, and the world fucked me over, so I'm going to fuck the world over. What if the world didn't fuck you over? What if there's no more poverty? What if the concept of poverty is completely out the window, and there is no poverty in this country?
Well, we could have already done that already.
We could have already done that. Yeah, sure.
We don't need it.
But you would have to get all those rich people that are in charge of industry and running corporations and in government to agree to make the world a better place for everybody.
That ain't gonna happen.
Just imagine how much less.
I mean, he's so close. I mean, Joe Rogan, you're a socialist. It's giving socialist. But yeah, not most crime, but a lot of things a lot of things that have been criminalized, that are criminalized, are crimes of poverty. Absolutely. And if people did not want, they likely, I mean, there have been so many studies on this. I wish I had them for you right now. There are so many studies that if you raise people up, if they have just enough money that they're above the poverty line, or if they're making enough money that they can save, that's when a lot of crime does go down. A lot of crime happens because people just don't have enough, and so then they look for other solutions to try to fix a problem that really the government and our culture has created, and then we criminalize the poor rather than fixing the underlying cause. What is this? Oh, yeah. When basics aren't met, how a lack of resources can drive criminal behavior. So this has been very, very, very well documented. Yeah, and I'm always talking about this. I'll never get over it. The child tax credit, which was one of the single best policies the country had enacted, that literally affected so many people, lifted them out of poverty. What it did was, instead of getting a yearly check from the deductions that parents can make for their children on their taxes, they got a monthly stipend, and it literally lifted millions of people out of poverty. And we just stopped doing it because of Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. All right, I think we're at time. It's 9:00. All right, we're going to try something now. Should we try the members only live? Members only? How many members do we have in the chat, though? Is there enough? We can do a members only. We're thinking about doing a 10-minute members only after show. But there are 50. All right. Let's do it. There's going to be 50 people. I don't know do you know how to do it, Kelly? No, we're going to have to figure it out. Fuck it. We're going to do it live. Anyways, we're going to do the, did we get any super chats before we end? Let's go to some super chats. Anyways, before we do that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you all for being here with us. And we're going to figure out how to do a after show. You might have to just end on YouTube. Oh, okay. Hold on. Do we have any super chats? We have quite a few. All right, we're going to go through those first. One second. All right, let's read these. Okay. Good News Friday story for you. DeRomo's Pizza in the Bronx. Look for that. Thank you, Kelly. Shout out to all the UK who have stayed up late for Keith's Fantastic Live, having a relaxing 2 weeks here in Dorset County with the family. Thanks for being here with us. Also, Kalma's VP should have been the astronaut, not the football coach. I mean, maybe. Oh, another one from Broadway's Scott D says, Keith, call Dave Neal and do a joint interview with Hunter. Dave wants to do one too, and that might make you feel more comfortable. Nah, I let Dave do his thing. Someone else said, thank you for staying up and doing the work of keeping everyone updated on all this. Thank you for being here with us. Sorry for just getting to your super chats now, but better late than ever. I think we should probably always do them at the end anyways. The best way to do it. All right. I think this is when the music was coming up. Let me see here. Thanks, Keith. Music. You got the groove. Do you like the music of Pink Martini? I don't know who that is. Love the show with you and Nate. Great. More, please. Well, thank you for being here with us. Someone else wrote, Keith, the law protects you. Oh, yeah. All right. This is the mold. This is when we were in mold territory. Well, I think first you have to prove that you have mold. So we got to do that. Someone's coming on Thursday in the morning, and apparently you can know right away. So let's hope. Stay tuned for next Tuesday when I'm going to tell you if I have mold. Keith, the law protects you. Get legal advice where there is water damage. It has to be dry with machines to prevent mold. They didn't do that. I actually warned them about that too. I have it in writing. Can we get Angie on the show? Yes, we're trying, actually. We're trying. She's very busy. I having worked on a campaign, it is so hard. I get it. So it's no pressure at all. We will happily lift her up. We will happily lift her up on the sidelines, and she is doing great. Someone said, thanks. Those who hate Hasan have never seen him hugging a cow. YouTube it. We'll look into that. Someone gave £5. Thank you. Someone else says, thank you for all that you do. WWW. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Let's see. Oh my God, there are a lot. Wow. We never had this many. This is great. Someone said, Keith gone bad. You have to move. It will kill you. Oh God. It could. I'm going to look up black mold. I'm going to look it up. Don't look it up. It's going to freak me out. Okay. Don't look it up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to not do that. How old is your building? It is so old. This building is so old. It's so old. The windows are an idea. The windows just keep out the wind. They do not keep out any noise. I live next to there's a bus stop outside my street. Every 10 minutes I hear that fucking thing. This is an old building. God damn it. I cannot believe this is happening. Someone says, get out, baby. Here's a little money to help you move. Thank you. Thank you. I think I'm actually going to have to move. Let's see what happens. I cannot believe this is happening. I'm grateful that we can talk about it, though. It's actually making it easier. My therapist takes August off. So this is my therapy right now. God damn it. Come back. Okay. If we win 9 seats in the Senate, and if they could convince 10 this is about impeachment. They'll have nothing to lose at that point. I think he'll be dead by then, though. I mean, you said it, not me. Someone else said, love you, Keith and Kelly. Thanks for your live streams. Can we get some W's in the chat for Kelly? Kelly's crushing it. Thank you, Kelly. She literally is killing this in a good way. Let's take W's in the chat for Kelly. She is literally the engine behind the live stream. And she's on X. You can follow Kelly on X. Put it in the chat. Follow her on X. She has 4 followers. If Tucker Carlson runs, Jon Stewart should run. Yeah, I think everyone should run. Jon Stewart absolutely should run. I am pro that. Okay. Oh my God. I can't click. Keith, seriously, you have to move you. Okay, we got it. We got it. I got mold. Got it. This was supposed to be on impeachment and Laura Loomer. It turned out to be group therapy for my alleged mold in my apartment. And if there's mold in my apartment, I'm calling out the goddamn management company. You better believe I'm going to put them on blast next week. If I could show you the emails I've gotten from them, are so rude. So rude. It's crazy. Ugh. It's so funny to go back to the happy music. All right, I'm going to figure out how to do this members only thing. I think we just got another $20 super chat. Is that true? Or is that someone else? I'm looking here. Oh, yeah. Natalie Perez says, get out now. Got it. Okay, here I am. Okay. We're here. I'm looking at the settings. Don't know how to do it. Do you see it, Kelly? I know there's a button that does it. Let me see here. That button will end it. Maybe we do it next week when we figure it out. Let's see here. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. All right. So we can't figure this out. So what we're going to do, we're going to have the after show on Twitch where everyone can go. It's a good idea. So go over to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/Keith Edwards. The after show is going to be there. We're going to end the live stream here. I actually don't think we can end it here because it's connected to Twitch. Oh yeah, we can. We did before and accidentally live streamed me talking for a while. So we're going to go to Twitch now. We're going to let you go to Twitch. Yeah, you're early to the party, lady. Don't know how to go to Twitch. Twitch.tv/Keith Edwards. We're doing the after show there. And next week, we're going to do the actual members only live stream. And after we figure out how to do it. I thought it was as easy as pressing a button. You're not too old for Twitch, probably, Jen. It's for everyone. Okay. Love you all. We'll see you on Twitch. Okay, I'm going to hit end now. See you there. Thanks for a great live stream. Ta-ta. No, literally no one moved to Twitch. Okay, we're just going to hang out with 27 people. Okay, bye. All right, I think if I hit end here, I'm still going to go.